What's up, guys? Dustin Cooper here. Some of you have asked me to do a Photoshop tutorial. So we'll just start with this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a poster artwork using imagery and effects, texture, type. And so what I usually do is open up Photoshop, make this 2000 by 2000 pixels, hit create, and then we will go and grab an image. Good place to grab images are from, I use unsplash.com. It's free and has good high resolution images. Let's say, so usually you just have to find a good photo to use. Let's see, I don't really know what I'm looking for here, but how about this dude? Looks cool. Let's use him. Usually I just look for photos until something strikes me, and then I just download it and I will drag it over here to my desktop and then open it up in Photoshop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring it over into our file here. Alright, so let's scale this up a little bit. I kind of want to use just his face and upper body. So I'm just holding down Shift to resize so that it all stays to scale. And then we're going to center it up right there, and I'm going to use the marquee tool and just crop this guy right here. Hit Command C, Command V if you're on a Mac to select and copy and paste it. And I'm going to delete this layer, and then there we go, we got that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image and I'm going to lay out like first we're going to turn it black and white, and then we're going to go to filter gallery, and I want to use, like I said it before, like a pop art. So you're going to do a halftone pattern, and then I'm just going to mess around with this a little bit till I get the effect that I'm going for. Got like that. That looks good. Make sure it's on dot instead of circular line, and then I'm going to hit OK. So you can see we kind of got this halftone kind of look going, and then even more so I'm going to go into levels so that I can adjust the blacks and the whites and boost my whites and my blacks so that you can see the effect a lot more. And then I'm going to hit OK, and then next I will adjust it a little bit more. I always like a faded look. Like this is like too dark for me, so I go into levels and I adjust the outputs, and it gives it kind of that muted black, off black, whatever you want to call that look. Hit OK. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up like a grid, like a off balance grid for the poster. So something like you know, using like rectangles. So you got one here, let's put maybe one over here, different sizes and such, like that. And then I like everything to be kind of balanced, but do that. And then something like this. And maybe one more across the bottom. Kind of like this. And we'll go all the way across. So that's kind of what we got. And this a little bit, give us some room for text. You want to have some room for text after all this is said and done. That. And then I'm going to select all the layers. This is just, or not all of them, just the shapes. I did that by just selecting one layer and then holding down Shift, and then selecting the top layer, and it selects all of them. And then I'm hitting Command T for transform, and then I'm holding down Shift, and it kind of, you see those like pink lines, kind of like centers it for you. I'm using Photoshop CS6, I think, or 7. I'm not really sure, honestly. But it allows you to see the grid lines and snap it to be center. So I hit enter, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this layer to the top, and I'm going to center it up where I want. Make it a little bit larger actually to fill this whole space right here. And then right over here a little bit. So I'm gonna put this guy's face in one of them. Here we go. So here's where we're at, and then I'm gonna hit Control, like a right click if you have like a, if you're using a mouse, right click, and I'm gonna use clipping mask, create clipping mask. And you're starting to see like chops right there. And then I'm going to duplicate. There's probably different ways to do this. This is just the way I'm doing it. But what I'm doing is breaking this image down into sections. But you know, some people might cut out a section and move it around. For this instance, I'm just duplicating it. Duplicate one more time, and clipping mask each one of these layers. So you're seeing like it start to come into shape, and then you want to like move it around. But since I'm going to move it, I want to center this guy's face right here and into this top left section. But I want to make sure you select each of the layers so that it all moves together. And I'm going to do something like that. Actually, it's really up to you. There's no right or wrong on what you do. But I'm just kind of figuring out where I want to put it. Kind of like that, something like that. So then that's where we're kind of at. You can move these, like, you can select the shapes and move them around, and it'll, you know, if you want to like do something like that, or it's all up to you really. It's up to you. That's the best thing about designing. So there's no right or wrong really for the style. It's whatever you want. And I think I'm gonna just keep it back to where I had it, right here. But so you can leave it like this. I mean, that kind of looks cool, black and white, but I'm gonna give this one some color. So what I want to do is I want to select, actually, I want to bring this down here, get some more of those glasses. No. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to select this top layer, this section, and I want to add some color to it. So I'm going to add another layer on top of it. Same thing, clipping mask, because we want it to stay in this section right here. And then I'm going to fill it with some color. Let's try like reddish orange or something. I don't know. How about that? We're going to paint that section, and then I'm going to go to these are called blend modes, overlays, whatever you want to call it, blend modes or overlays, both. And sometimes I just go through these until I find one that I think looks cool. In this case, I'm not really looking for anything in particular. That kind of looks neat. Lighten or screen. I want the whites to show, so I don't want it to look like, you know, that. I want it to show the whites. So I kind of like that. It's kind of cool. And then I just kind of mess around with these until I find something I like. Alright, I think I'm going to use lighten. Don't want to spend too much time on it, but that looks good. And then maybe another color down here or something. Select that, add a new layer, create clipping mask, and then maybe like, what do you think, like pink or something? I don't know, whatever you guys think is cool. Let's try like maybe a pink. Same thing, I'm going to go up here and hit lighten. It's giving it some color. So there's where we're kind of at right now with this. Then I want to, let's see, I want to turn this into like a poster. I don't know if you've ever seen me do those posters before, but I created this image and now I'm going to put it into a poster form. So I think I'm going to need to make it more narrow so that it takes on the poster shape. Alright, so here's where we're at, and then I'm going to use a black paper texture. I have some of these stored on my hard drive, but I just Google them a lot of times and just go to Google Images, type in black paper texture, and find one that you like. This one, just resizing it, square, and then I'm going to make poster size like this. Just making a rectangular shape. Make it white. And then converting it. So we got all these shapes. I'm gonna select them all and convert them to smart objects so that they're all together, and I can move it all around. And then I'm going to place it inside of the poster. I like to give it a little bit of space around the edges so that it kind of looks like a real poster. It's looking good. Alright. And then I'm going to move it up here. Bring this up a little bit. So there's where we're at. Again, center this image. And then we're going to, let's see, maybe add like adjustments, level, mess with these a little bit. So you get the look you're going for. Just doing a little bit of that, add some, maybe add some drop shadow. I know drop shadow is not popular anymore, but sometimes I still use it just on certain things. I'm going to try and make this poster pop out a little bit. Subtle. Alright, I think that's good. And then, I don't know, for text, we can just make it say something cool. I'm going to use this eyedropper tool so I can select the dark color. And then usually, I never know what I want it to say. I mean, when you see something, it could be a lot of different things, but I don't know. In this instance, I think, you know, maybe made in his image. Sounds kind of cool. And then it's all about picking the right font. I mean, let's see. I've been using this font a lot. NF Ultra. I got it at Creative Market, I think is what it's called. CreativeMarket.com. It wasn't free. But it's cool. I like it. So I use it a lot. And you kind of just move it around until you like where it's at. That's looking good to me. I don't really like how far apart these are spaced, so I'm going to adjust the kerning. And then bring this over just a little bit. There we go. Kind of looks good right there. And then there's always, you know, texture. So I want to make this paper look as real as possible, this poster. So I select the poster layer. Actually, I'm going to take drop shadow off for right now because I'm going to do some clipping mask, some image masking. So I grab the paper, and usually what I do is I just go to Google, type in old paper texture, and then find something I like, click on images, tools, because I want to use something high resolution, go to large, and then look for something that resembles a paper texture. That might be good. Something like this kind of looks good. If it works. That looks good to me. So I'm going to save image. Go to my desktop. And then open up this texture right here. Bring it over. And I'm going to change this to black and white. So I go to saturation, bring saturation all the way down. Put it over top of my poster there. I think I want it on top of all the layers. So right now you're like, where'd your layers go? Well, we're going to use a blend mode overlay. Multiply maybe. Yeah, so there we go. That's how you can like looks like it's a paper. It looks like it's like I made it out of paper and crinkled it up. That's how we kind of get that effect. So that's multiply. This is what I used. And then I'm going to adjust the levels. Bring out the whites. Darken that. There we go. It's starting to come together. I'm not sure I like this dark line going down the middle, so I'm going to use the clone tool, and I'm going to get rid of it. There we go. So that's looking good. And then maybe let's throw like a filter on top of this whole entire thing. I'm gonna go in here in my desktop and look for, or my hard drive, and look for a black paper texture that I can throw over top of this whole thing. This one I found on Google Images, just typing in black paper texture. Again, I'm gonna bring the saturation all the way down, and I'm gonna drop it over top of everything. Probably can get rid of some of these. So, layers, transform tool, again, which is Command T if you're on a Mac, which is what I'm on. Just gonna flip this around, something like that, and go lighten. There we go. Kind of seeing it come together. Same thing, I don't really like this spot right here, so I'm going to use the clone tool. I'm just hitting Alt, clicking on a section, and then fixing this up right here. So you see that. It's looking good. I don't know, maybe sometimes you want to, tilt it or whatever, but I don't know. Let's just have it be straight. Add our drop shadow back in, so it looks like it's popping off the page a little bit. And for the most part, there you have it. You can adjust your level. This is levels. If you want to see it a little bit more. There you go. I think that's it for me. And that's how you make a pop art poster, whatever. Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you have any questions, let me know.